Hey everyone, welcome to another session of Tony Talks. I'm your host, Tony Evans. You can find Tony Talks on YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook. The longer versions are always on YouTube. The shorter versions are going to always be on Facebook. And the even shorter versions, the 1 minute versions, are always going to be on Instagram. Because you know, it's Instagram and you only got 1 minute, and that sucks. I used to post on Tumblr, but Tumblr is under review considering their recent fall from grace, from social media grace. You can also follow me on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter, all at IamTony215. And please don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel at IamTony215. Today on Tony Talks, I want to ask a question. You know, you're out here in the world, you're young, you're beautiful, you're vibrant, and you know, as the song says, I'm living my best life.
Smile, bitch! Smile, I'm living my best life. I ain't going back to forth with you niggas. I'm living my best life.
And as life should have it, you know, you're successful, you have money in the bank, you have a car, you have a job, you have all these wonderful things, but you're looking for that one thing that's missing: love, someone to share all this stuff with. So as you're looking and as you're shifting through all these people, you finally find the one guy that is everything. But the only problem is, and you know there's always a problem, there's always some type of complication. You don't get everything you want. The only complication is he is not where you are in life, as far as successes, as far as you know, the house, the car, you know, the clothes, all the material things. So the question is, would that matter to you? Would you still consider dating that individual? Would you date that individual? So the question is, would you date a person that is not on the same level as you as far as success? House, car, money, job, career, clothes, all the social things in the world. And I know a lot of people will probably say, no, because I'm not materialistic. No, that's being materialistic. Oh, no, that shouldn't matter. A lot of people will say that, but you know, just imagine, you know, in this lifestyle, it's such a sheep and wolf type of society, because you really have to be careful. Because you have so many people that are out to use each other, or are out to use somebody for their own gain, and solely their own gain. So I can understand being very reserved about, you know, doing something of that nature. But then at the same time, you also have to consider that you could be on that end of the spectrum. It could be you. Life isn't always great to you always. There will be some rough patches. There will be some times when you will be at the bottom of society. So you can't ever rule that out. I understand, you know, both sides of the spectrum, but I want to know from everybody out there, you know, what do you think? You know, how would you handle the situation? You know, people say, oh, you know, if you consider these things, that is being materialistic. But I don't necessarily think that's being materialistic, because, I mean, you know, at some point in time, we all are materialistic, because we all love material things. There are always going to be something material that we love. So as long as you have a love for something, and we all do, whether it's a stereo, whether it's a computer, whether it's a bedspread, it doesn't matter. It's a material, you like it. To me, my world, that's a part of being materialistic. But you know, material things cost money. There's, a lot of value in these material things. And yes, you have to work. You have to work very hard. You have to work a lot of hours in order to obtain these material things, in order to gain these material things, in order to keep these material things. So I think that people would probably be less materialistic if there wasn't such a intense value put on material things. So I guess the question is it okay to be materialistic? Or do you think that you're materialistic? And just because you like material things, does that mean that you're materialistic? I started, for me, in the gay community, I started late. I didn't have a lot of experience. I started kind of engaging in the gay community and dealing with my sexuality around the age of 32, 33. So I hadn't been exposed to a lot of things that go on in the culture. So, I'm a clean slate, a blank slate. And, I'm like a lost sheep amongst the wolves. I came to Atlanta and I came here, I started my business. I just ran into the wrong person. In my mind, I was wanting to build something with this person, but in their mind, they just wanted to take. They just wanted an easy ride. And that happens a lot in the gay community, even in the heterosexual community. It happens a lot because a lot of women fall victim. They fall victim to this because, women, they go out into the world and they do good. They do well. And a lot of times they have kids, and they have to do good. They have to do well. They have to work, 10 times harder and a lot of times for 5 times less just because, they are mothers, They have to raise sons and they have to raise daughters, but they are women in a man's society. So, but, they too even fall victim because men target them and use them for an easy ride, for an easy ticket, and a lot of times while they're seeing other women, which is screwed up. It happens. So I understand the dynamic. At the same time, everybody's not like that. What if the person you met just was in a rough patch, was in a rough spot? And it's kind of hard to prove to a person this is not who I am, because the person can only go by what you tell them, and your actions over time will speak, for themselves. And really at the end of the day, it boils down to trust. You just have to trust that, this person really isn't a scam artist. This person really just isn't a rough patch in their life. And, they may just need some encouragement. When I moved here to Atlanta, I had a lot. I was what you would probably consider successful. I guess for me, I've always shared with, the person that I was trying to have a relationship with, and I've always been the type of person, that I want to help build you up. I want to help you get to where you're going. Even if we break up, I still, want you to get where you're trying to go. And I probably would help you depending on how we broke up. Now, if you did some crazy foolishness, then all bets are off. If we broke up and we didn't have any reason for any animosity between each other, of course I'd help. I'd still help you. Breakups are not the end of the world. Things happen, and like I say, the energies and the chemistry just isn't there. And if it's not there, there's nothing you can do. It's not that they're a bad person. It's not that you're a bad person. Well, I won't say bad. There are hurt people out there in the world. Hurt people do bad things to other people that end up hurting them. So I've always been that guy to share what I have. That's the point of a relationship, is for me to share with you what I have. But I couldn't have it all by myself. But what's the point in that? What's the fun in that? If I can't share it. I want to share it, you know. And if I have a skill set, and if I have an ability, if I have some ideas, you know, it can come in all forms of things. It doesn't always have to be monetary, even though the monetary would be great. Awesome. But doesn't always have to be monetary. But if I have something that I can give you, you know, that's not necessarily money, but it could be knowledge, it could be understanding, it could be advice, it could be some form of fashion of that. You know, if I can give that to you, and if I can share that with you, yes, I want to do that. I want to do that. I will invest my time to help you. You know, that's how I've always approached it. Yes, I've been taken advantage of. I've been taken advantage of plenty of times. Plenty of times I've been taken advantage of. The people that I was with didn't appreciate where I was in life, and they didn't appreciate what I was trying to do or help them do. And you know, a lot of times I don't necessarily express to you what I'm trying to do. You know, I'm not gonna tell you that, hey, I'm trying to help you get here. I'm gonna just do things, you know, that I feel, or say things that I feel that will help you. And we, you know, take it from there and we build on that. You know, I understand, you know, you have to protect yourself, but I've always been, you know, type person, everybody that walks into my life gets a clean slate. What you write on that slate is on you. Now, of course, if I see now where, you know, you're trying to just be a user, yes, I'm going to pull back and I'm actually going to get rid of it. You know, if I see that, you know, you're listening and I feel, and like I say, you don't have to do everything I say do, but when I say listening, listening in the sense of, you know, we had a conversation and, you know, it helped you, it lifted your spirits, or it helped you figure out further what you wanted to do. That's cool, that's great. I'm cool with that, I'm fine with that. That's the whole point, that's the whole purpose of a relationship. That's how relationships function, that's how healthy relationships function. And that's just me, that's just what I think. I have always been the type of person to give. I'm a giver just by nature. So, you know, do I guard myself better? Yeah, I do, you know, but there's certain things that I use, or certain methods that I use to kind of get a quick insight to a person, so I know exactly beforehand what I'm dealing with and how much I can invest in a person. So, you know, like I say, time, you become wiser and you get more knowledge and understanding of things and of people and how to deal with people. So, you know, I guess the next question is, if you identified a person like this and you trusted, you know, that they were in a rough patch in their life, how much would you invest in them? Would you invest money in them? Would you invest time in them? Would you encourage them? How in depth would your involvement be in helping them get to where you are, or helping them get to where they want to be? You know, unfortunately in this life, at some point in time, as my grandmother used to always say, keep living. Keep living. You will need some assistance. Everybody needs assistance at some point in time in their life. It really bothers me when, you know, young men and women, but mostly young men, that you know, they're doing well in life and you know, things are great, and they tend to kind of look down on people that are not where they are, you know, and I kind of just, you know, laugh on the inside, because I already know that somewhere down that road you're gonna hit that rough patch. I know it's coming. I was once a younger man, and I was at the pinnacle of my success, And even though I always gave to people, I always helped people out of situations, and I mainly did it because I knew that one day I too could be in those situations. I had sympathy and empathy in those aspects. You know, I did look down on people that walked. You know, I used to look down on people that didn't have a car. I used to look down on people that rode the bus. One day, that day that I dreaded came, and it was my time, you know, to hit the rough patch. And I hit a rough patch, and I became the guy that walked. I became the guy that rode the bus. I became the guy that took the train, that didn't have the car. A place that I did not ever want to be, a place that I knew I could be. I always acknowledged that I could be there, but some people don't even acknowledge. Just think they go along in life as though, you know, everything is always going to be a bed of roses, and I hate to tell you, it's not. And sometimes it hits you, you know, at the wrong time in the wrong moment. You never know when it's gonna come. You may experience 40 years of pure bliss, and in the 45th year of your life, bam, you know. I think when that happens, the later you go on in life, it gets more difficult to get back up on your feet. Unfortunately, in this society, older people, and as you get older, it's not as easy. Life gets more difficult. So, you know, that's one of the reasons why I work out and I eat right and I take care of myself, because, you know, as you become older, you become more vulnerable. And not just vulnerable to the wolves out here in the world, but you become more vulnerable to sickness. You become more vulnerable to, you know, all these illnesses that are in the air. But that's a whole nother story. That's a whole nother subject. I gotta stay on track. I have always acknowledged that, but I never thought that I would be on the, you know, on that end. But as life would have it, here I was, you know. I understand both dynamics, and I think that this is where people go wrong, because, you know, you have to always think and use your imagination to the best of your abilities, to the best of your abilities. You know, maybe it's because I'm a Scorpio, and Scorpios are very good at seeing things without having to see them. But, you know, you have to, you know, think about, what if it was you? Think about, you know, your job, and think about your life without that job. Like, what if one day they just walked in and said, hey, we don't need you anymore, and you had no source of income, and, you know, you work for this company for a long period of time. That is a downside to working for companies for long periods of time, because, you know, you dedicate 14, 15, 20 years to a company, and if something happens, well, that's all you know how to do, because you've been doing that one thing for the past 20 years. You know, things can happen. I mean, my mom, she was on her job for 22 years. My mom is 57 years old. She's 3 years away from 60, and she's gonna have to start over. And she's more vulnerable now than ever because of her age. We all can come to that point. We all can fall. We all can trip and fall. We all can slip and fall. You know, and sometimes we just need somebody to help us up. You meet this person and you are at the pinnacle of your success, but they are not. They're nowhere near where you are. Would you date them? Would you pursue a relationship with them? And how much would you invest in them? Let me know what you think. Let me know how you feel. Please don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. I am so trying to reach 1,000 subscribers, so please help me out. And please, please, please don't forget to follow me on Facebook. You can't be my friend on Facebook, unfortunately, because I have too many friends. I don't know how that happened, because I don't have 5,000 people calling me every day. But anyways, follow me on Facebook and follow me on Instagram, Twitter is gonna be more so my political side, with my political views and how I feel about what's going on in the world, in our society, and the society that we have built, and it's falling apart. Follow me on Tumblr, but I don't know, I don't think I'll be posting on Tumblr as much anymore as I used to. But I didn't post all the things that you guys posted, but I used to post on there. So anyways, please check me out, and until then, people, I love you all. I hope you guys know that, and peace.